Good morning. I'm meteorologist Cheetah Craft. I'm joined by meteorologist Tim Pandages and, of course, Jennifer Reyna. Jen, I know we've just had tons of stuff going on the roadways, so we're doing this extended live stream. So that way, some of you who woke up after 7 a.m. or you just want an update in the weather and traffic, we are going to give you the entire latest. And we don't have any time constraints. That's also the nice thing about not being on TV, being able to do this live. We're able to talk about all that we can here for you over the next 30 minutes or so. So good morning. This is all part of a very big pattern change. So the rain that we're going to see today, we are going to see daily downpours right through Saturday, Sunday, and even into next week. It's going to really significantly help out with our drought situation. We'll show you the latest drought monitor. Tim Pandages is going to show you that today. As far as the flood potential goes, we are under a slight risk. So keep in mind high water spots, isolated street flooding will very much be a concern right through about your mid-afternoon. So starting now through lunchtime and your mid-afternoon, this is going to be the time frame that we're going to continue to monitor all these heavy downpours. Now, this is going to play out. I think this is going to how today's going to play out. Temperatures are going to top out upper 80s to low 90s with these scattered downpours. A quick 1 to 3 inches of rain is very possible today. And then notice what happens by 4 through 6 o'clock. Most of our thunderstorms are actually going to start to die down, and we keep it mostly quiet through our evening hours. Now, I want to bring in meteorologist Tim Pandages. Tim, you're going to take us neighborhood by neighborhood on the radar because we're already seeing some of those thunderstorms really fire up out there.
Yeah, it's a very interesting situation out there this morning, Cheetah, because you could be driving into work and it'll be sunny to the right of you and dark as night to the left and just pouring buckets of rainfall out there. That's the kind of setup we have, a very tropical air mass in place. When you hit that rain, it's coming down with those big fat drops coming down 1 to 2 inch an hour rainfall rates out there. And we have seen some high water spots. We will likely continue to do so. This is a loop over the last couple of hours just showing it expanding in coverage. Notice there's a lot of bright colors here, the oranges and the yellows, those high rainfall rates. In and around downtown, there's another line here, and this is what's causing a very interesting setup here, too, in downtown, is that you've got the rain, the heavy, dark rain coming on in from the west here, and then you've got the sun coming up from the east, right? So it's highlighting this area, and we're seeing rainbows as a result. We had one over downtown just about 15 minutes ago before the rain moved on in there over our Amagi sky cam. And this is all moving on off towards the east there. So that's very interesting. We've had a rainbow in Galveston earlier. Here's a look at Matagorda and Brazoria. Very, very heavy rain over Hawkinsville, Brazosport, Richwood, Angleton, up 288 too, through Brazoria. Likely some ponding on roadways there. Thunder and lightning thrown in this cluster too. Galveston, for the first time this morning, we're actually seeing things let up a bit. It has been pouring there. Flooded roadways were a big thing in Galveston in the last couple of hours. Now the rain has been letting up, which is some good news. Traveling up the Gulf Freeway to League City, Friendswood area. Yesterday you were under a flash flood warning. This morning another round of very heavy rain, but notice in the last couple of frames it is starting to shrink in coverage there and let up in intensity just a little bit. This little blank circular area here that we have over Dickinson, that's the radar site. So the radar is shooting out there from League City, and it's picking up on the heavier rain out by Seabrook, Shore Acres, LaPorte. As you get up towards Mount Bellevue, Barrett area, Atascocita along 69 north of the city. Getting some very heavy rain there for you as well. Now let's go down into Fort Bend County. Well, we've got some rain mainly in the northern portions of the county along 90 and 59 south of there. Quiet for the time being, but notice this generally is tracking its way closer to the interstate there. So on the tail end of that morning commute, it may have some issues. Now, Cheetah, you had some great sky cameras from across the area that you can really pinpoint the areas that are getting sacked and those that are hardly seeing anything.
Yeah, and you're really nailing it. Some areas are getting a little break, but I'm first going to show you the live camera that's getting those big fat raindrops that Tim was just talking about. Okay, this is our downtown sky camera, and notice how the entire lens is just lit up with all the kind of raindrops out there. And this is the same in the Galleria this morning. We're seeing some really heavy downpours out there. Now take a look. Just like Tim was saying earlier this morning, Galveston was just getting slammed with extremely heavy rainfall out there, blinding rain at that, lots of thunder and lightning outside, and now they're getting a little break. However, the roadways, this is Seawall Boulevard, still very wet, so it's going to be still a very, very messy start to the day. Live look from Hotel Zaza. This is the Med Center right over Herman Park. Okay, you see the sunshine. We have had rain across this area, so you've got wet roadways. But with that daytime heating, that's going to help fire up additional thunderstorms. So right through your midday and into your mid-afternoon, we're still going to keep that chance in for those scattered downpours. Missouri City, wow, just about 15 minutes ago, this camera, you could not even see out at, all right? It was, we were talking about those really heavy downpours. Now today, another 1 to 3 inches of rain will be possible. That's on top of some of those big 2, 3, 4-inch rain accumulations that we saw yesterday. So we have seen a lot of rain over the past 1 or 2 days there. League City, notice you've seen about 2 inches and a quarter there. Same there for southeast Houston and Harris County. Katy, almost in 2 inches of rain. Now, Tim, this is kind of the beginning of this long range pattern change that we're going to notice through the weekend and into next week. Now, walk us through the hour by hour timeline with that.
Yeah, very wet pattern. We're almost flipping the switch here. So if we look at future track for today's rainfall, we'll likely add on another 1 to 2 inches to those totals that you were just talking about, Sheeta. So here's how it plays out through the rest of our morning. Seeing things still widespreading coverage, tropical heavy downpours right up through lunchtime, although some of that drifting north of I-10, giving the south side a little bit of a break for a while. But we're kind of seeing the opposite unfold of what we usually see with daytime heating, firing up storms in the afternoon and then dying down. This time around, things are flaring up in the morning hours and then petering on out by the time we head towards sunset this evening. So notice here we are this afternoon or this evening at 6:30. We still have a few clusters of showers out there, but nothing nearly as widespread as what we're currently dealing with. So our main threats with these remaining cells that are out there is going to be the torrential downpours, and that's going to lead to street flooding. Although brief, it'll take some time for those drainage basins to catch up and move the water away from the roadways. A 1 to 2 inch an hour rates will do that, though, and that's what we're seeing in some of these cells. Damaging winds, not the highest concern, but I also am not completely clearing it out because some of these cells could have some gusty winds with them. Not severe criteria, but there may be some wind in the heaviest of downpours. As Cheetah mentioned, this has been great news for drought conditions. This is yesterday's updated report. So our rain from yesterday and today is not included in this. The data collection ends Tuesday morning. So all the rain today and yesterday will lead to an even better report next week. And what I mean by better is that some areas like Montgomery have completely eliminated extreme drought conditions in the entirety of the county. Harris County cut that in nearly a third. So that's good news there. However, out to the west where it's been bad, it remains bad, just not as bad as it was last week. And thankfully, the rain in the next few days, yesterday, today, and the next few days, will really help that look a little bit better. So that's the good news there. Now, going forward, Sheeta, into this weekend, we still got the rain chances on Saturday and on Sunday. And even past that, a tropical disturbance that right now is in the southern Gulf is going to throw some moisture our way, enhancing that chance.
Yeah, that's right. A 40% chance of development. And don't forget, if you have to get off your phone, you can't watch the live stream anymore, you can always go to KHOU.com for the latest on this as well. But let me show you, we are tracking rain chances almost every single day. A couple things, just like Tim was showing you on the drought monitor, it's really helping us out. It'll be exciting to see our next week's drought monitor released next Thursday to see how all this beneficial rain is adding up. But it's also helping out with the heat. So temperature-wise, even through next week, 90s, upper 80s, we'll take it. You don't see any triple digits here in this forecast geo. But as far as the rain chances go today, we are going to keep those in place through midday, mid-afternoon. I'm going to bring in Jennifer Reyna. Jen, you've been so busy, and anytime we have weather out there, it's like weather and traffic is hand in hand. So I know you have got your plate full over there.
You know, Friday morning, we're trying to get into the weekend, but before we get there, we just have to get through the extra traffic delays. So right now, time now is 8:40 in the morning, and we're still seeing some very heavy traffic on Highway 6 just south of I-10 right at Memorial Drive. It's in both directions that we have severe delays. So wanted to give you a heads up on that. Stalled truck on the North Beltway eastbound at the Hardy. It looks like traffic is much improving in the eastbound direction. Westbound, we had an earlier problem, but I am seeing some improvements. Still looking at a 30-minute delay between IAH and the Hardy Toll Road. All of those side streets nearby are also really packed, so you just need the extra time if you are a North Beltway driver. Hazmat spill, this one is almost cleared up as well. 45 southbound Feed Road at Airline was completely blocked. I am seeing some improvements at that location. Main lanes are a little sluggish, but I would just stick to those. And in the southeast quadrant, we have an issue working on 610 northbound right at the Port of Houston, and it is going to slow you down right as you hug the southeast part of 610. This is the end of the hazmat situation where all lanes were blocked. Now traffic can get through the feeder road there at 45 and Airline. So yay, 2 thumbs up, but roads are still very slippery and your visibility is something else as well. And then you can see here our live picture with the North Beltway and Hardy. Our stalled truck is no longer there. So things quickly change in traffic, as you guys know. This is in place, though. The east loop at Port of Houston, where you heard me say there was a stalled truck, and on the southeast side, hugging that portion of the loop, we're going to see delays. That's exactly why, because of that stalled truck. Here are the latest drive times for you. 45 minutes out of the Woodlands. If you're leaving Katy, 44 minutes to drive into downtown. Sugar Land, not so bad. 32 minutes to work your way into downtown. Pearland doing pretty well considering all of the water that the rain that dropped there. 18 minutes to get from 518 into downtown as of right now, but everything's really saturated, so don't follow too closely. That's the name of the game. Let's talk about weekend road work so we can set you up in avoiding these delays. 45 the North Freeway, it's going to be a complete closure southbound from Crichton to FM 1488. So folks waking up in Conroe, it's going to be a closure all weekend long until Monday at 5 a.m. Feeder Road will be open but busy during peak time hours. And if you have plans to make your way toward the Galleria this weekend, West Loop southbound, it is not a total closure, but between Post Oak and I-69, 2 lanes are closed. That's all we really need for there to be delays. And that kicks off at 9 on Friday and lasts until Monday at 5 a.m. So it's bound to be busy if you're leaving Independence Heights or let's say Garden Oaks and making your way toward the Galleria for shopping or for any weekend plans. That's going to be your latest in traffic and weather. We really appreciate seeing you here